hate flossing but still want your teeth to survive past the age of 30? Keep watching to find out if you actually need to floss and what the key to clean teeth really is. Believe me, your mouth will thank you. Hello Internet, welcome to Style Theory, the show that's sorry to tell you that, yes, you do actually need to floss. We found that out in a previous episode.
Is the moral of this story gonna be that flossing is required?
Oh no.
That would be the worst.
If you want clean teeth, you have to floss. But what kind of floss can actually give you the best clean? That's the big question, and the one that we're looking to answer by the end of this episode. See, when it comes to the best flossing methods, dentists are divided to say the least. It's always 9 out of 10 dentists recommend this, and 9 out of 10 dentists swear off that. What about the 10th dentist, huh? Where are they at? Well, for today, you can consider me the honorary 10th dentist. I'm gonna test the top 6 flossing methods and decide once and for all which one deserves to say 10 out of 10 dentists approve. No one really knows which one does a better job, and no one's thought to test it out. Because I care about your oral hygiene, and because I've already traumatized myself by putting up-close photos of my teeth on the internet, we're gonna try that for the next, oh boy, 2 weeks. But I'm not doing it alone. Meet my dental minions. Santi.
I'm ready to show the world my teeth yet again.
Kai.
And I am very excited to show the internet my teeth.
And Dan.
I've been a terrible flosser.
Weird flex, but go off, Dan. I wouldn't consider myself a flossing savant either, but I do have one hot take. I have my preferences when it comes to floss, and my preference is this guy. This is a water pick. Ever since that toothbrush episode, I've been very, very conscious of my oral hygiene, and this baby has been one of my best friends on that journey. Which actually wasn't a hot take, apparently.
Honestly, I think that out of all these options, the water pick is going to work the best.
Unless, of course, you were Santi.
I know that the water pick is supposed to be awesome. I don't see it working better than like getting in there with floss. Like,
you'll have to stay tuned until the end to find out which floss takes the crown. Well, hey there, theorists. Welcome back to my bathroom where we are going through a flossing routine. Today, we are actually going to start our journey a little old school. Unwaxed floss. This is the classic, the OG option made up of a thin nylon string. It's supposed to be the best at getting into the teeny tiny crevices between your teeth, but I'll believe it when I see it. To see just how clean our floss gets our teeth, we'll be using something you may recognize if you've watched our last oral episode. We are once again using disclosure tablets. If you don't know what these are, they are meant to show you where you miss when you brush your teeth. We'll be using this after we floss, not after we brush our teeth. We'll also be flossing before we wash our teeth for 2 reasons. 1, it eliminates the toothbrush variable to make sure we are only seeing the floss at work. And 2, this is the dentist recommended method. And by that I mean like not just the 9 out of 10. What this does is loosen up all the food, bacteria, and plaque particles that then get washed away when you use your toothbrush. And here, right at the start, is where we hit the first unexpected hurdle of the episode, the grip technique. This is my grip. I'd love to know what everyone else's floss grip is because this is mine.
Oh gosh, it's stuck. I think you're supposed to wrap around. I'm gonna do a wraparound.
I just hate these. I hate these little stupid things.
This is something that we should be like teaching in school. To use string floss, you need to create tension in the string by holding it firmly. This then lets you use the friction between the string and your tooth to rub all that gunk off, which is easier said than done, especially once you start getting into the back.
And it was also kind of hard to reach my molars.
Having to like do all that stuff like really is really annoying to like get in there, especially in the back.
I hate having my hands in my mouth. I hate these. I really, truly hate these. Theorists, believe me when I say that the most important step to using string floss is washing your hands. Please, I beg. Yet, all of this suffering would be worth it once we saw just how clean our teeth were getting, right?
Huh, yeah, I kind of did nothing. I feel like it should have done better.
Clearly, it did not do what I wanted. And it's clinging to like these little pieces between my teeth where I thought and I tried really hard to clean.
I have a permanent retainer in the bottom of my teeth, so using these kinds of floss is really difficult to get past the metal bar in my mouth.
Even with that practice under our metaphorical belts, day 2 was just as disappointing.
I bled for this. You know what? I'll give it a 4. No, 3. 3.
I don't think this floss did a very good job cleaning my teeth. I wouldn't reach for this floss again. It's very difficult to use. On a scale of 1 to 10, 3 out of 10.
Rating for this, same. I think I gave it like a 3 out of 10. Still a 3 out of 10.
Santi was a bit more generous, giving it a middle-of-the-road 5 out of 10.
If I'm traveling and the hotel that I'm staying at has this kind of floss, I'll use it. But if I go to a pharmacy to get floss for myself, not at all.
Averaging out our ratings, this floss gets a score of 3.5, which puts it in first place for now. No spoilers, but I don't think this one's gonna get the 10th dentist seal of approval at the end of the episode. On to floss number 2.
This is our waxed floss. So it's minted wax. It's the same kind of drawstring method. You can immediately feel the difference on this, so I'm hoping it does better on my teeth.
The added wax is meant to make it easier for the floss to glide between your teeth and stop the string from fraying as quickly. Yet, despite both the waxed and unwaxed floss being around since the 1800s, there is actually no definitive answer out there about which one works better. So that's what Team Ferris is here to find out. We all hoped that the combined power of the wax and our refined string technique would yield better results this round.
It feels like there's more resistance when I'm pulling it out, so I feel like it should be taken out more black.
Feels like it's getting more into the grooves.
Unfortunately, our hopes unraveled as fast as our waxed floss.
The structural integrity is so much worse than with the unwaxed.
I am noticing this is fraying more than the other one was.
What? But this is exactly what the wax is meant to avoid. Where's my receipt? I want my $2.60 back. Our day 1 results were nothing to write home about either.
It did better than the unwaxed floss. Am I impressed with it? No.
I felt like I was more struggling to get it in between my teeth and actually being able to clean them.
I do feel like this cleaned my teeth better than the unwaxed one. If I were more used to using this kind of floss, it would maybe even be better.
I can still see it clinging like here and here, but I definitely got like better. And overall, my teeth are cleaner today than they were the other day.
We were all underwhelmed.
I would use this floss again if I was like on a deserted island and it was the only kind of floss we had and I had like a popcorn kernel stuck in my teeth.
Yeah, not exactly a 5-star review. Moving on to day 2, our skills with the string floss were only improving, but the floss wasn't.
This is what I don't get. I'm taking the floss and I'm wrapping around each tooth, 360ing around the entire thing. It is not getting those upper patches. My disappointment level makes me want to actually put this as like a 4 out of 10. Even as I get better at the technique, it's just not working.
I don't think it really cleaned my mouth whatsoever. To compare the wax floss to the unwaxed floss, there really wasn't much of a difference besides the wax floss having a slightly minty flavor to it, which I guess can help make the experience better.
Good point, Kai. Many oral hygiene products like floss and toothpaste add a minty flavor to trick our minds into thinking we feel clean. This is due to the menthol creating a cool, refreshing effect in our mouths. Though it does have some useful side effects like stimulating saliva to help wash away all those particles we talked about earlier. With an average score of 4.5, the wax floss moves into our first place slot. Next up is our final free-range string floss, one that's trying to redefine the genre.
Welcome back to flossing, where we are once again going to floss my teeth with a new type of string. I am really sick of the strings. So this time we're doing dental tape.
This is sometimes called ribbon floss, or as you see on the package, satin floss.
The satin makes me feel like it'll be better than the wax string floss.
Well, Santi, that word is actually a little bit misleading. Dental tape isn't usually made of satin. It's made from polytetrafluoroethylene, which is a nylon string, but a stronger version than the nylon used in our previous options. This is the kind of stuff you'll usually find in things like hiking gear, not your mouth. But not only is it supposed to be stronger, it's also wider and flatter than regular floss, and that shape is meant to make it better at gliding between your teeth.
It's getting between the teeth easier, which I'm actually really liking.
I actually liked it, more so than I thought I would. The flat, satiny texture, I think, is able to get more out.
However, it still had the same big flaw as our other 2 string floss.
For me specifically, this doesn't get into the one area that I'm really missing, which is that cavity back where my wisdom teeth used to be.
I do actually feel like it still had the same issue of me not really being able to get to the back of my mouth.
No matter the structure or shape of the string, getting to those back teeth was almost impossible. I was starting to think that none of these flosses were going to give us the results we were looking for, until it was time for us to pop in our disclosure tablets.
Oh, hey, this did better. There's still some gunk left in those same crevices, but not nearly as much.
Actually, it kind of looks like it did a little better.
However, it wasn't a universal success.
Compared to the other flosses so far, it's performed about the same.
This did not work well. Yikes.
Yes, despite all of us feeling like this was a better experience, the actual performance was all over the board. But did day 2 follow the same pattern? Yes. And also, no. This time, Santi was feeling the clean.
It is the best that I've used so far. It is a pleasurable experience. The mintiness is good. The tape, the flatness of it is nice, especially to get in there and really floss whatever you have in there out. I'll go with a 7. Feel pretty clean.
Yet Dan and I, who were all aboard the dental tape train yesterday, were hopping right off.
You know what? I didn't get a whole lot, but I think I know why. I'm starting to realize that technique might be more important than the actual floss that's being used. Yesterday when I did it, I took a bit more time to get it through and it worked rather well. Tonight, I kind of sped run it.
Even so, he gave it a solid 7 like Santi. Myself, however,
Today did worse. I kind of have to give this a 4 out of 10. I don't, okay, fine. A 5 out of 10. Because it still did better than the other flosses.
Kai also rated it a 5, giving dental tape a respectable score of 6 points. It's funny, it seems that the more flosses we try, the better they get, even if it's by a very slim margin.
I'm really excited to move away from all of the strings going in my mouth and move on to something slightly more fun. At least, I hope it's gonna be more fun.
Is your idea of fun string on a plastic toothpick? Then congratulations, do I have the floss for you. The dental pick. Same string, but this time there are no fingers in your mouth. And it comes with a pointy end in case anything is being really stubborn. It was also Santi's personal MVP.
This is the type of floss that I use. I think this will be a 9. It's gonna clean a lot better than the other ones.
Oh, is it so much better, Santi? I think I'll trust the data on this one instead.
I feel like this floss did good at cleaning my teeth.
Not bad, actually. It kind of looks like it did a little better.
Oh, okay, but before I let Santi celebrate too much,
Oh yeah. You really get in there. Ooh, and the mint?
I wasn't having the same results.
It still has the problem with my 2 problem teeth. Like these 2 right here, that's the real test for any kind of tooth product.
It was fine. Despite Santi's insistence that it was the best so far,
10.
Dan and I were feeling pretty mid.
Maybe it's not as impressive as I thought it was. Disclosure is showing me that nothing really changed. I guess a 7.
So I can definitely see where like this is failing me, and so I'm gonna drop this to like a 6 out of 10. I think it's more convenient and does about the same job as the other flosses.
Kai gave it a solid 8 for convenience.
It was a lot easier to maneuver around in my mouth, but kind of like the string flosses, I didn't feel like it was doing anything besides getting in between my teeth.
At the end of the day, the dental pick is still just string floss, but in a form that is much more convenient. And its score reflected that, coming in at 7.75 points, which once again means that our newest floss takes the number 1 spot. I promise this was not planned, but it is a pretty cool pattern, right? And since we're moving on to our next option, I'm excited to try out the next number 1 method. This was not our next number 1 method. Sorry, was that a spoiler? I mean, oh yay! It's time to test the interdental brush! These little fuzzy wires on sticks were originally used to help clean between your teeth while you had braces.
It says this is for people who wear braces. I do not wear braces. I've never worn braces. So I'm like, is this meant for me?
Well, according to TikTok, it certainly is. People have been going wild for these brushes over on the Clock app. And you know, nothing's ever gone wrong listening to TikTok, right?
This was an utter disaster. I don't understand. Like, I looked up videos, pressed this so hard into my teeth that I'm surprised I'm not bleeding intensely.
I don't feel very dental into my teeth, so ooh, don't like it.
I don't think this floss did a very good job cleaning my teeth. It didn't actually get in between my teeth, it just kind of softly scrubbed along the surface of it.
I can't use it. My teeth are far too close together.
TikTok, why? Why must you always betray me? Theorists, this one was such a failure that we were unable to complete day 2 because we were so worried it would leave us with permanent dental damage. So this one is getting zeros across the board, and it's going straight to the bottom of the leaderboard. This option is not gonna get the 10th dentist seal of approval. In fact, it's getting a warning. Unless you have braces and your actual dentist tells you to use these, stay away. Instead, you should try out our final floss contender. Theorists, we have finally come to the one that I thought would take the crown since the beginning of the episode.
I am using my trusty water pick. This is the one that I normally use, and I like it a lot.
While it may seem like the floss of the future, the water pick has actually been around since 1962. This thing is basically the power wash of the dental world, and we all know that the power wash is OP.
I will remain skeptical. I don't think it'll be useless, but I think it's gonna be very superficial.
Oh, really? Well, let's find out if my pick can dethrone Santi's pick. It's time for a theorist pick-off. Let me tell you, Santi was not prepared for what was about to hit his mouth and everywhere else.
Am I supposed to like close my mouth? Cause that just went everywhere. Oh my god. Oh my god. Wow.
Okay, sure, it's a little messy, but did it clean?
Compared to the other flosses so far, this has been the messiest, but it has been the most effective to use.
This still did better than most of the floss by itself.
I definitely feel like I could have done better, but it definitely got in there way more than I thought it would.
Huzzah! I can taste that sweet minty victory now. Moving on to day 2, I was ready to claim my pick prize.
This is still my favorite of the lot, and it's the one that I like and feel the most clean when I use.
But the real test here was, could I convince anyone else to join my side of the battle?
I'm gonna give this a 9 out of 10 again. I definitely feel like it cleaned my teeth better than any of the other flosses I've used so far. I would switch my normal floss over to this.
Yes, one down. Now, could I convince Santi, the one who has been doubting the power of the pick since day 1?
I'm gonna go with a 10 here. I really like it, actually. It's so easy to use. It's quick as well. It feels quicker than flossing every other type of floss. I think 100% I will be switching from my old floss to this.
Yes, baby! In the battle of the picks, I am victorious. But there was one person who could not be swayed.
Yeah, it's a little better today, but honestly, like, the floss picks did the best. Don't know what to say. That they just did. 7 at the end of the day.
And theorists, I have to admit, he wasn't completely wrong.
I can say pretty definitively, even with my love of the water pick, feels like a multi-step method. We try to simplify these methods into a one-step process and continuously seem to find out that we're meant to do more and that our bodies need a heck of a ton of maintenance. You need a floss and a water pick to get the deepest clean you can possibly get at home and not going to the dentist. I stand by it, I sincerely believe it, and I'm hoping that the VO agrees with me.
It's true. For all the power that the water pick had, it wasn't fully able to get into the tight areas between our teeth as effectively as the dental pick. Yet, the water pick was able to get those hard to reach areas like the back of your mouth and around your wisdom teeth and molars way better than the dental pick. So, coming in at an average score of 8.75, the water pick does take the #1 spot, but only by 1 point. And it's an important point. The water pick is a great everyday option, but to get the best clean, you'll need to bring in a support floss, aka our #2, the dental pick. By combining these two options, you are guaranteed to leave your teeth feeling shiny and squeaky clean. And that has the 10th dentist seal of approval. But hey, that's just a theory, a style theory. Keep flossing smart. Don't stop now. Find out what toothbrush works best to complete your hygiene routine. And I'll see you next Saturday morning.